Last week, I shared part one of how I started my music journey. And before I continue from where I last left off, which was that I had lost this passion for singing and performing as I got into high school and into college and beyond, I wanted to share how I discovered Christian hip hop and my early experiences with it. So I didn't grow up listening to Christian hip hop. I remember in elementary school, middle school, somewhere around there, I heard of Lecrae. I knew he was a Christian rapper, but that's it. I never gave an intentional listen to him. Around high school or like early college, I remember hearing Coming In Hot by Lecrae and Andy Mineo, and I was like, oh, wow, like this is actually good. Like this is lit, And that was my first time hearing Christian rap. And I remember showing it to one of my friends at the time, like, dude, like this is Christian, dude. Like this is good, like da da da, right? Because at that point in my life, I did not know anything outside of that kind of typical Christian bubble of music, which was just like worship music and what you would hear on 104.7 The Fish. It definitely had an impact, but not impactful enough that I started listening more. I didn't dive into Lecrae's music. I didn't dive into Andy's music after that. I think I still had this conception of Christian rap at the time that, oh, it's corny, oh, it's cheesy, right? Like I didn't know what the scene truly was. Fast forward a few years later, I went to Passion Conference in Atlanta in 2022 and KB performed there. And that was my first time seeing a Christian hip hop performance live. I heard of KB, knew him by name, that was it. Didn't know any of his music. Okay? Do not come for me, everyone. Like, I'm just being authentic to what I was feeling and thinking like a few years ago. I know he is one of the GOATs in the scene. So yeah, just relax, okay? There's no shade towards him. This is just what I was thinking back then. I was just like, what is going on? Like he was getting lit, man. Like the crowd was getting lit. I didn't know what to do with myself, honestly. I was feeling secondhand embarrassment. I was feeling a bit cringe, like, what is this? I had that one experience with Coming In Hot with Lecrae and Andy Mineo, but to see an actual Christian rap performance live, that was just something completely out of my comfort zone. Getting lit at a Christian concert, a Christian rap, like, just, I have not seen or heard or witnessed this concept of Christians getting lit to this music. I was just like, dude, like what the heck is this? Like what is the crowd thinking? Like is everyone like, oh my god, like this is so weird, this is cringe, or are they rocking with it? You know what I'm saying? And so that was my perception of the whole thing, like, bro, LOL. So those were a few of my early experiences and conceptions of Christian hip hop. Like a lot of people who still have these conceptions, I thought that it was corny, it was cheesy. This all changed in February 2023. So I was visiting my friend who lived about 2 hours away, and once I got to her city, the next day or so, I had taken her car for some reason, I don't remember why, and I was flipping through the radio stations, flipping through, and then I start hearing this girl rap, and it sounded like she mentioned God, and so I did a double take. I was like, wait a second, like, did she just mention God? Like, is this Christian rap? Like, what is this? And so I was just listening for the lyrics and looked them up online, and that was when I discovered Anike, Wande at the time. I just remember having this epiphany in that moment of, one, this is actually good, because I guess like maybe it was a few years since I first heard the Lecrae and Andy Mineo Coming In Hot. Or maybe it's because it was a girl this time I was listening to, or probably just a season of life I was at. Secondly, I just had this moment where I was like, wow, like God is using her to reach a certain group of people that wouldn't be reached in a traditional way through hip hop. Another thing as well was that it was just like her, like being her complete self. through rapping, through spitting the bar, through her swaggy self, you know? Because another thing is that up until this point, I also just had this conception of Christians in general, like, oh, we don't got style, we don't got flavor, we're boring, you know? I mean, I wasn't, but like just in general, I was like, dude, like, where are these people? This is a screenshot of a text message I sent my friend because I was just like very like wow, like mind blown in that moment. So Anike was the first Christian rapper that I intentionally looked up and listened to at the time. A few months or so after that, I think I was just randomly looking up one time on Reddit, like Christian hip hop, Christian rappers, right? I saw that someone recommended Holvey. And so Holvey was like the second Christian rapper that I really started listening to, and he became one of my favorites. Anike and Holvey, those were really the only two Christian rappers I listened to. Maybe a little bit of Andy, right? But still, like, that was it. I was not like deeply invested. I still didn't know like how big and how great the scene was and how much talent there was in it. It was just something like a little more, casual. Now, this all changed about a year later.